Hey guys, welcome to Paradox of Losing Cycle channel. This video is the extension of our last video. The last video was the title on um, recording your progress and scorecard your success in terms of monitoring your progress and how to identify your triggers and how when we talked about the whole framework of how to reward yourself as you are progressing in managing your triggers and managing your relapses to avoid your next bet or to avoid your next gambling session online or in the casinos. This video, we will be talking in a little bit more detail. We will be talking about all the triggers, and we will give a live example in terms of how to identify triggers and how to manage them, how to come up with actions required, and how to take actions against it and record it. And we will describe how to give yourself points and rewards in order to incentivize yourself towards progressing in the right direction. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to pull up the Excel sheet where all the calculations are done. So as I said, this is an extension of our last video. In our last video, we talked about in terms of broad terms about the framework of how to monitor your progress. So this video is all about in detail. It's an example on the Excel sheet where you can develop it yourself and you can monitor your progress. So the way I've done it, so basically you can watch this video and then create one for yourself the same way that I did. And this can help you a lot in terms of managing your gambling addiction, in terms of triggers and how to stop it, and how to stop your next bet, and how to stop your next gambling session as soon as the trigger comes. Okay, so this is the first sheet. So I call it dashboard. Okay, here it is written dashboard. It says dashboard sheet. In the dashboard sheet, you mentioned the start date. Start date here is written 17/03/2024. The objective is to terminate gambling for 1 year from the start date. And the financial milestone here, I put $10,000 by end of the calendar year. So that the date that I'm looking at to achieve my milestone, to achieve this $10,000 in terms of rewards, is by 16/03/2025. That completes the 1 year cycle. So that's the summary of this dashboard. So I'm going to be watching, how well I'm progressing in avoiding gambling by putting the whole infrastructure around it and monitoring the progress that I do or that I make. And so this sheet is going to give me the nutshell. Here what it says is reward system scorecard dashboard. So in the first box here, what I have is measures, then rating points, and the reward or savings. So here I have number of weeks without gambling, number of days of relapse, number of initiatives. So number of weeks without gambling, here I received 1 point for 1 week. So here it's basically, the description of this is that for 1 point every 1 week without gambling, I receive $100 reward for every 1 point. Okay, so I'm gonna describe in our next sheets how I derived this 1 point and how I derived this $100 reward. So currently, this is my dashboard. I'm watching this. Here it says that in the past 1 week, I got 1 score or 1 point, and I received $100. And then number of days of relapse. Here, basically what it means is the description is that for 1 point of every 1 week relapse avoided, you're going to receive $100 for every 1 point. So the first one is number of weeks or number of, let's say in the prior week, you avoided the gambling, automatically you receive $100. And then in terms of if you have, if you had a relapse, and you manage to avoid the relapse by identifying the trigger, you get another $100. And then if you had taken an initiative, that's the number of initiatives here. If you have taken an additional initiative in terms of activity to replace the gambling session, you will get another $100. So that's 1 point for every one initiative taken during a week. $100 for every one new initiative taken during the week. Okay. So you're monitoring this. You're monitoring weeks without gambling and number of relapses avoided and number of initiatives taken. And therefore, you will receive on a cumulative basis. So this dashboard is on cumulative basis. As you progress, as number of weeks go up, these points will increase and your savings will increase. Number of relapses come along and you avoided them and you get rewards on a cumulative basis. Number of initiatives that you innovate, you come up with different activities, you engage yourself in different things other than gambling sessions, you get, for every initiative you get 1 point, therefore $100. The next box underneath here says savings records. So basically here, this is the cumulative savings and in terms of reward that you get. So same thing, total savings from avoiding gambling. It's going to show up here. Total savings from avoiding relapses is going to show up here. Total savings from new initiative that you have taken, I'm going to get up here. And the cumulative is $300 in this case. And as time passes by, this number is going to go up as you progress. So this number, basically $300, is what it means is that you need to get $300 now and put it in your savings account and lock it. You need to see it in your bank account. You got to see that because that will give you a satisfaction. It's going to give you sense of achievement. And also is going to make you think that twice, hey, this $300 could have gone to the casino. Now you have it. Okay. And it's going to give you a great sense of pleasure, great sense of achievement, and your dopamine level is going to go higher. So you're going to train your dopamine on these numbers now. So basically, rather than you going, increasing numbers in the casino or online casino platforms, trying to, make some wins here and there, losing money. So, and then your dopamine level gets fluctuated. So here in this case, you are shifting, and training your dopamine to look at these numbers and get a satisfaction about it. Okay, so you will see you're rewarding yourself. You will see these numbers growing in your bank account, and you will be satisfied. You will have a sense of achievement, and your dopamine level will get distracted rather than it's gonna stop focusing on the gambling, but rather focusing on the positive areas in your life, and your reward system gets piling up. Okay, so that's the dashboards here. Now, here the graph or the diagram here shows same thing, $100 from savings from avoiding gambling. That's $100. The blue box is $100 from saving from avoiding relapses, and $100 from total savings from initiatives. Obviously, these boxes will differentiate. Sometimes you won't take some weeks you won't take some initiative. So basically, this box will become smaller. But the orange box should always go higher because that's the savings from avoiding gambling in a week. So every week you're going to reward yourself $100 automatically when you avoid gambling. So you're going to monitor this chart as you go. Okay. So did we understand this first sheet on the Excel sheet? This is called the dashboard. So that's what you are watching. Now, how we derive these numbers? These numbers, if you look at the cell, it's all linked, okay? It's all linked to other sheets. So I'm not putting any numbers here. Nothing is. It's all based on calculation. These are all calculation driven, which are linked to different sheets. So we will now look at other sheets, which is basically putting input into this dashboard. So what are they? The next sheet is called weekly scorecard. Now, this is a kind of journal. So you have a weekly journal or weekly scoring journal. Okay, that's the title here, weekly scoring journal. You got a number of weeks without gambling, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you got number of relapses avoided, same thing, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course, by week 7, you need to add more rows. So you need to expand this into weeks 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12. So your target is now 1 year. So, whatever, the number of weeks gonna come up. You need to keep adding the weeks as you go. For the time being, I just put 7 weeks for illustration purposes. Now, number of weeks without gambling, number of relapses avoided, and then you have number of initiatives taken, right? So here you're gonna have due dates. So my first week 1, here my due date is 24/03/2024. I'm progressing very well, and let's say I'm not gonna put any remarks here, so it's gonna be empty. Okay. Let's say I'm not gonna put anything here. I'm gonna take this out. This shouldn't be here -1. This should be empty here. But anyhow, let's say the due date is 24/03/2024. The status is success or failure. It means that did I avoid gambling during this week? So far, I mean, today the date is 21st of March 2024, so we're not there yet. But so far so good. So far I didn't gamble. I stayed away from gambling. So by 24th of March 2024, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say S. S means success. F means failure. So if I put success, this should be 1. I think it's not grabbing the right letters. Okay, there you go. It becomes 1. All right. And this one is a conditional formatting, saying that if it is S, then it's a 1. If it is an F, it's a -1. That's what it says. So you are giving a point of 1 when you successfully avoided gambling during this week. And if you put here F, let's say I'm going to put F, it's going to be -1. So it's a conditional formatting. Okay, conditional formatting is equal to if in bracket C4 is equal to S, comma 1 or -1. So you can you can get trained about the conditional formatting. How to do this is available on YouTube. So basically, what you are saying is that if you are successful, you're going to give yourself 1 point. If you failed, it's going to give you a -point. That's it, and then everything else has been taken care of. So all what you are doing, you're putting S or F on the status. So here it says automatically you got a 1 point, and then reward is $100. In the comments here, it says the trigger identified and actions taken. So what are these? I'm going to get to that later on our next sheet. Same thing for the number of relapses avoided. Due date is 24th of March. During the same week, you're going to say S as a success. It's going to change to 1 point. A reward will be given to you, $100. And number of initiatives taken, let's say you have taken an initiative. You're going to give yourself a success here. It's going to calculate 1, and automatically it's going to give you 1 point as well as $100. Here you go, the cumulative $300. So this success and point and reward will be reflected on the dashboard. Okay, that's what you see here on the dashboard. Let's suppose you're going to give a success on week 2. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Success on week 2. So I'm going to drag this down. That's a 1 point. So you get 1 point on the second week if you successfully avoided gambling, and the system will give you $100. And then let's say on the week 3, again, you are successful, and the system will give you 1 point and $100. So let's see how the dashboard will change. Here you see the dashboard. It says that you've been successfully progressing in terms of avoiding gambling. Okay, so there is no negative bars here. And previously you had taken an initiative, but you haven't taken an initiative since then. And also you have avoided relapses, but you never had any relapses again. So basically you are just avoiding gambling here without any relapse. If there is any relapse, it's going to show here. The blue box is going to go up, meaning that you are monitoring your relapses. So basically, in this case, you had a relapse the first week, but then you kept avoiding gambling without a relapse and without trigger. So if you, let's say, you had a relapse, let's say on the week 3, um, you didn't have a success. Let's say you had a failure on the 3rd week. Okay, and let's drag this down. If you had a failure on the 3rd week, it's going to say minus 100. So now there will be a minus 100 and negative point. So this minus 100 basically is going to come out of your savings. Okay, and also let's say you had a relapse, but you could not avoid the relapse, so that's a failure. And negative 1. Sorry, we're going to drag this down. All right, negative 1 and negative 100. Okay. And then let's say you haven't really taken any initiative to avoid that. Okay, but then if you haven't taken any initiative, then you cannot say failure. Well, it's up. I don't know how to. Okay, well, one thing is that this is not for 2nd week, the 3rd week failure. So I'm going to drag this down here. And that's empty. So the 3rd week, again, you had a failure here. And you're going to give yourself. So now what happens here, you can see on the dashboard, everything fell apart. It's only $100, the reward, and nothing else. Basically, your ultimate reward is $100. Okay, it comes down. So that's on the 3rd week. Okay, now you know that something went wrong. Your cumulative progress is really just 1 point, and it's only $100, and it's nothing else is showing up here for the total savings. So that's the dashboard is showing you. All right. But you would rather see a lot of things progressing and keep rewarding yourself so that you get excited about it and you get motivated and you feel proud of yourself. So basically, you want to say success all the places and take action so that you can reward yourself. Now that's where the dopamine comes in, which I call it the positive dopamine. So you're going to train yourself to see more savings by taking action. So you want to put all success rather than failure. Okay, so here let's say if you do this, in this case here, what it means is that you had successes in terms of avoiding gambling for 3 weeks, and successes in terms of avoiding your relapses. Okay, you had a relapse, you had a trigger, but then you didn't. You self-managed and you didn't gamble. That's what it says. But then for this one, you need to identify the trigger. We will get to that later. So here, basically, the trigger has been identified and actions taken. Okay, to avoid the trigger and avoid the gambling session. For that, basically, you can say success. But then you didn't take any initiative except if week 1. So you might be on the same initiative on week 1, and you're not taking any more initiative on week 2 or week 3. So how does the dashboard look like? The dashboard look like this. It says that your saving. There's something wrong here. It says $100 should be $300. I think it's not calculating $300. I have to check why it's not calculating that. I'll fix that later on. But anyhow, it should say $300 savings, and here and then the $200. No, you have a $300 for avoiding gambling, and $300 for relapses, and $100 for initiatives. So this blue bar should be same level as orange bar. So it says that that you are progressing quite well, where you have savings of $300 and savings from relapses, avoiding relapses $300. That's $600, and then $100 from taking initiative, and that belongs to the same initiative on week one. Since then, you haven't taken any more initiative. So let's see if I can fix this now so you guys can see what's going on. Select data. So if I go here, total saving, okay. So you're, okay. Why is it only one here? Avoiding gambling, turn it down. All right. Edit. So let's say if I do this, there you go. Wonderful. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So you got total savings, so $300, and the total savings from avoiding relapse is $300, and total savings from taking initiative $100. That's $700. So that tells you something. So that this dashboard is saying that you have been fighting your relapses and you have avoided the gambling and you've been successful doing that. But then you have taken only one initiative and you might be busy taking that initiative until now because it's an ongoing fashion. So you haven't taken any new initiative since then, which is fine. Okay. So that's how you will watch your progress as you go. So I hope you understand or you understood so far about these two Excel sheets. The third one is called the triggers. Now, here when we say relapses, right? Number of relapses avoided. So here in this table, the second table here, when you are putting success, that's based on identifying triggers and taking action. So what it means is that we go to now next sheet. Here you're identifying all the triggers. This is a comprehensive sheet. Here, this sheet is called relapses and triggers management. Here you got here I got week 0, but this is where before you started the scorecard or before you started this plan, you might had a relapse in week 0, and then had a week 1 and then week 2. So in week 0, you had these triggers, and this list of triggers can grow. By the way, and the more you have the triggers, the list will grow. So these are the triggers. Let's say I had on week 0, which is abstinence duration, which means the length of time since the last gambling session. Let's say you paused the gambling session for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden on the third week you had a relapse. It's called abstinence duration. So why is it a trigger? This is a trigger because the length of time since last gambling session, longer the cooling off period, the bigger the urge. It's a trigger, by the way. I mean, it happens to the people who are addict in gambling. The longer you cool off, the bigger the urge comes up, for some reason. Okay, so that happens. So basically, that's a trigger. You have to know that it's a trigger. Okay, and then the severity is very high. The pink color here means that trigger identified. Okay, and the severity is very high. And the orange color here means that the severity is low. That's all what it means. But the trigger was identified. So if this trigger was identified, the abstinence duration and the severity is high. Actions required: permanent self-exclusion with bed blocker application download. So you have to download the application of bed blocker and also seek and ask for permanent self-exclusion from the casinos and so forth. So actions taken: permanent permanent self-excluded on all the accounts. So, and then you put that here, the actions taken. You have asked for permanent self-exclusion, and you got the confirmation from the casino that they have self-excluded you from their site. Once that happens, you say here, actions taken. And the next trigger is digital funds or online banking. Here, what it means is that when there is funds available online, on online banking, let's say I get an urge to gamble. So that's a trigger. So whenever you have funds sitting on online platform or online banking, you get an urge to gamble if you are an addict. Okay. So the severity in this case is very, very high. And what are the actions required? Destroy the debit cards, especially with the mark Visa, or you can scrap the CVV number behind the debit card, in order to avoid using it online. But remember, I mean, just focus that. Make sure that you don't remember the CVV number. Then there is no use. The whole idea is that if you scrap the CVV number, you won't be able to use it next time around on online casinos. using the card. Or if you want to buy a crypto, you won't be able to because they all ask for the CVV number. So if you scrap that, you're going to do yourself a favor. Okay, you will stop using the card, or you can just destroy the debit card and then deal everything with cash. I mean, just withdraw the money from the bank account until you just cool down a bit. Otherwise, if your debit card is available with you, or you have a credit card, then you have cash in the bank sitting online banking, and you can use it anytime you want for online gambling purposes. So why did I say Visa? I mean, usually, Visa allow the purchase of crypto tokens or cryptocurrencies. MasterCard, they have blocked all the purchases of crypto. So MasterCards will not allow you to buy cryptos anymore. And all the exchanges and wallets and crypto payment companies will not allow you to use MasterCards to buy crypto. Okay. Only Visa allows. So basically, if you have a Visa on your cards, it's dangerous. They will allow you buy crypto. So you need to block it. You need to destroy the card which has a Visa on it. And then the actions taken, destroyed the debit card with Visa on it, or whatever action you have taken, you have scrapped the CVV number, you need to mention it here that actions have been taken. And then the third trigger is the crypto funds. Now, when there is a crypto available on exchanges or wallets, I get the urge to gamble. So whenever you have crypto sitting around idle, doing nothing on your exchange account or on your wallet, like Trust Wallet or other wallets, Exodus or whatever, okay, so basically just sitting there, you will have a tendency to transfer this crypto into the crypto casinos and start gambling. And severity is very, very high too. So what are you going to do? Actions required, block and delete crypto accounts. So you need to somehow encash it, guys. I'm sorry, but if you're an addict, don't keep cryptos around. It's so easy to use them for online gambling purposes, and you're gonna basically destroy them. So rather, just encash your crypto into fiat and block your account, or you can just transfer your Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever your crypto to a hard wallet, and then delete your exchange. Okay, delete your Binance, delete your Kraken, delete your any other exchange that you might have. Suspend it, cancel it. Okay, you don't need them. You need to cool down because you have gambling addiction problems. So it's very dangerous to carry crypto in this case. So transfer them to hard wallet, or encash it and delete your crypto accounts. Is just not necessary. You have seen how the Bitcoin has collapsed $10,000 from the peak. It's very volatile, and you might just panic when the crypto value goes down, and then you will have a tendency to recoup this, chasing your loss in crypto value. You're going to transfer this Bitcoin all of a sudden to casino in order to chase the losses and trying to recoup the lost value in the market. I mean, all of this crazy stuff happens for some reason. So this is why you need to just forget about it. Clean up your brain, clean up your mind. You don't need this shit. Just basically focus on your progress, focus on your sessions with no gambling and no casinos and all of this crap. Okay. Now, therefore, you need to block and delete crypto accounts. So actions taken: deleted Binance account, for instance. Suspend. You have to go there and ask to delete your account forever. Okay, so it's gone, finished. All right. So you will not have any sort of means to come back to gambling anymore because you don't have crypto funds, and you don't have access now to the digital funds on online banking. So all of this needs to be blocked, removed. Okay. Now, also the fourth trigger is crypto purchasing. What is this? When there is easy access to buy crypto, I tend to have urge to gamble. So basically, if you have easy access to buy crypto, you'll end up buying it. So you'll end up using your debit card, your credit card. You go to the exchange or your wallet, like Trust Wallet. It's easy to buy crypto there. You're gonna press the buy button. It's gonna take you through Visa card or Mastercard, and then you're gonna put your card details, and you're gonna end up buying this crypto. Load the crypto on your Trust Wallet, and then from Trust Wallet, it's gonna end up in a online casino platform. So what do you do in this case for the crypto purchasing? Self-exclusion and block crypto PPC. What's a PPC? It's a payment processing company. Now, these companies are abundant. On Trust Wallet, for instance, there are 4 or 5 of them. One is called Mercurio. The other one is called MoonPay, and then you have Transact, and then you have Bangsa, and so forth. All of these guys, send them emails saying that, hey guys, these are my emails, this is my profile. Please block me from purchasing crypto from your side in the future. Do not allow me. This is a cease and desist legal notification, meaning that stop allowing me to purchase crypto from your side forever. And you have to give them a cease and desist notification. And they will send you an email with confirmation that your emails have been blocked, and you will no longer will be allowed to buy crypto again in the future. So you need to get those confirmations through email from them. All right. And then another trigger here is called Binance Exchange Account. Easy crypto purchase on Binance triggers urge to gamble. Severity high. What do? Block and delete crypto account on Binance. On Kraken, get a global lock on Kraken. I mean, say that, okay, you can, on Binance, you cannot do global locks. On Kraken, you can. So you can do a global lock where Kraken will not allow you to transact any sort of transaction for 1 month, for instance. And you can lock it. Or you can just maybe, another thing is that you can apply the two-factor authentication, Google two-factor 2FA. And then what you do is you delete the Google 2FA from your phone so that you won't be able to use that when you're logging in exchanges such as Kraken or Binance. So you are restricting yourself in this case, to use these exchanges easily. So the harder it is for you to deal with these exchanges, the more you are protecting your money, the more you're protecting your funds, the more you're protecting your wealth. Okay, and you are stopping yourself from impulsive action of transferring these funds into online casinos. Okay, now these are the tricks. Other trigger is credit card, debit card. Credit card and debit card, they are always a trigger. Having a credit card, it creates an urge to gamble. Severity is very high. So what you gotta do as an action, you gotta destroy credit cards and debit cards. So you have to say, destroyed my debit card. Okay. Illusion of controls, that's another trigger. Here, the trigger description is selective memories on specific large wins with multipliers. So you might have played a slot machine or baccarat game or some other multiplier game on the casino, and then you had this huge multiplier and gave you a large win, and it just stays in your selective memory forever. And the severity is very high. The action required is that you need to constantly remind yourself on not just the win, but as well as the losses, the pain that you had, and the fact that it's random and it never works or it never worked. Okay. In week 0, basically, I've seen here it's too late because during that week, it's week 0, I couldn't take action, therefore I relapsed. For instance, okay. So here you have to say too late. So I mean, this is your current situation probably. So in current situation, action too late. So this is week 0. So the week 1 will start in a different momentum. So another illusion of control is linking specific wins to systems and methodology. So severity is very high. So here, remind yourself on losses. Again, despite seldom wins, on an occasional basis, these systems most of the time didn't work and led you to losses. You have to remind yourself in this case. Another trigger is another form of illusion of control. Here it says watching YouTube on baccarat systems and methodology. There are a few YouTube videos. People they are trying to market their systems and methodology. They're selling them for $20-$30 per PDF. Be careful. These are all scam, and you need to block. We can't block all this video, but I mean, what you can do is just remind yourself that these videos or promotions, they're just trying to make money for themselves and from gamblers. Okay, so you need to constantly remind yourself. And then additional cash flow. So basically, you need additional cash flow. So basically, let's say you have low income and you are under insufficient cash flow. You might have expenses piling up, debt piling up, and you are now eager to make additional quick money to cover additional expenses or additional payment. So this might also give you an urge. So you need to identify these triggers. The severity is very high. Actions required is find alternative options to generate additional income other than gambling. And if actions taken, you have to say started focusing on, let's say, investment, trading, building a portfolio, or looking for another job, or creating a product, or creating a new service, a new application. Well, I mean, there are so many different options you can put here. You have to divert your skills and time in generating income through a legitimate way. And then you have additional cash flow, additional savings. Sometimes if you are rich, if you have abundant of income coming in and the same thing, but you have this urge to have additional savings, or you want to pump up your portfolio incrementally higher. So this eager to save more is also a disease, by the way. I mean, you're just eager to save more to grow your investment portfolio quickly. Okay, so you want to say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to stop by the do some gambling, and then come out with few $1,000s and then put that into my investment portfolio. Some crazy thoughts, by the way, and people do it. Okay, and then they get stuck. They start chasing losses. What will happen is that they will end up destroying their existing portfolio in order to chase the losses. So they end up destroying their investment portfolio. So it starts as a naive approach to additional saving, and then ends up in a catastrophic liquidation of your investment portfolio. Okay, so you need to remind yourself in this case that gambling will result into liquidation of your investment portfolio. So don't do it. Okay, in the week one, and then you're going to monitor these same triggers as they come on the week one. So basically, let's say now week one starts. Now you are applying this plan. Week one, you can see here there are no signs except one, right? Here it means that you managed to avoid all the triggers, which that's a good news. So you managed to not to go back to the gambling, despite the fact that you are under a cooling off period. You did not transfer any money from your bank account to casino because you destroyed the debit card. Now, you did not transfer money from the crypto, from the wallet or from the exchange because you blocked and deleted all the your accounts. And you did not buy any crypto because you blocked them again. You self-excluded from the crypto purchasing companies. And here it says Trust Wallet, having crypto on Trust Wallet and linked crypto payment processing company always triggers the gambling urge. Now, what is going on here? Here, basically, let's say I had $50 sitting in my Trust Wallet in BNB. Okay, I ended up transferring that into casino. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is, right? It's really powerful urge. So just because I had $50 sitting in my Trust Wallet in BNB, I ended up transferring that into a online gambling site just for fun, because you can't stop it, right? So that's my point. So having any sort of funds available in the form of crypto is dangerous. You'll end up having an urge, by the way. So what is the action required? Again, self-exclusion and block crypto PPC. So what are you going to do? You might have just gambled that $50 away. Okay, forget it. You lost it. Finished. Done deal. Okay, so don't do that again. So here, what you can see, the total losses from week 0 is around $1,500. But the total loss on week 1 is only $40. So that $40 came from where? From the Trust Wallet. So that you had a $40 worth of BNB. You ended up transferring that into online casino, and you lost it. Still a good news, because you only lost $40 because you blocked your bank accounts, your crypto funds, your crypto exchanges, and everything is blocked. You're not able to transfer anything. So thank God, week 1, since you are now monitoring your triggers, your loss is minimized. So your action is only one, which is self-exclusion from the casino. Again, you have to block yourself from the casino that you played, and also go back and make sure that you have self-excluded and blocked and canceled from all the crypto purchasing companies again. Okay, for a couple of days, you just have to monitor. You got to take some action. You got to send them email and ask for cease and desist of your email accounts and your profile from purchasing crypto. So in the week 1, as you started this plan, your losses now got minimized to $40. So hopefully in week two, you know, all these triggers will not be there because you blocked all your accounts. You have no funds sitting in the crypto. You might have some illusion of control, but then since you blocked everything, you won't be able to transfer funds, and this trigger will be automatically dissolved. Okay, hopefully, I mean that's what it is. That's all what it requires. This is why you need to block the access of your fund from getting transferred to the casino, so that if you have other sort of triggers coming in, such as illusion of control, you won't be able to transfer fund again to the casino. So you want to make this block here zero as much as possible. So you got for now from $1,500, your loss is now $40. So week one, and week two hopefully is a $0. Okay, so this is called triggers management, relapses and triggers management. Okay, so hopefully I was thorough in my description how to develop this and manage this. And then the last sheet is initiatives. Here you are monitoring the initiative. So basically in week zero, okay, so basically all of these weeks are referring back to the weekly scorecard, the week one. Okay, so you have week one here, week two, week three, week four. So when this week one, due date is 2403, status, okay. This week one, again, basically is linked to this week one here on this triggers management and all the triggers that you need to identify them and do something about it as they come. Okay, it will give a complete detail about the triggers on that week. So that's the week one for the triggers. The same thing for initiative on the week one. What initiative you have taken on that week? You're going to record it here. So you have initiative name, continuous self-exclusion from online gambling sites, crypto wallets, and crypto exchanges. The date for this is week zero because that's where you gambled, right? Week one, the initiative will be what? Create income from other skills sets. Could be broadcasting, trading in financial markets. It could be creating a new product, creating a new business plan, whatever the initiative you have. You can put it here, and the date is week one. And then a bit of description of your initiative. Action required is to focus on this. If you want to trade in the financial market, you need to focus on professional trading in the financial market rather than gambling. The progress report applied risk management rules with winning strategy based on algo on trading, daily profits realized, avoided losing cycle on trading execution, need more monitoring and control on quality of execution, not to slip into losing cycle. So basically, you have come up with a professional approach to trading in the markets, or you might say, a action required is to build a new investment portfolio. And then you need to watch your progress report, that what kind of stocks and funds and ETFs that you bought. You might be going into investment into real estate, or you might be going into developing a new business plan for a new project, and all of this. You need to now monitor them here. So you list your initiative here, and you monitor your initiative on an ongoing basis. So so everything is linked back to back. Okay, so you have initiatives linked back to the triggers. Triggers are linked back to the weekly scorecard, and everything is linked back to the dashboard. So you have a complete infrastructure now in order to avoid a gambling session, and in order to avoid and manage your relapses and take initiatives. And all of this is linked to your new reward system and monitoring and control your behavior and progressing in the right direction. So, guys, I hope that you really enjoyed this video. It took me a lot of time to develop this infrastructure for you guys so that you can manage your relapses better and develop a new habit of coming up with a new initiative, doing something different other than wasting your time and gambling and wasting your money and your time and effort. So this, and by the way, I'm applying the whole infrastructure on myself, and it's helping me a lot. I'm being quite honest with you guys. So I'm using the same approach to direct my life towards becoming more successful and avoiding gambling at all cost. So if you have any comments, guys, please add your comments below, and it'll take me fairly quickly to respond to you guys. And I hope again you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Paradox of Losing Cycle, and we'll see you in our next videos. Cheers, guys.